can prevent forest fires.
Steve Harkin goes behind the scenes, backstage at Full House, today at 5.
This is Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Edie Tarbox and Victoria Corderi. Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, I'm Edie Tarbox. It was an expensive special delivery. 4 gunmen made off with up to $500,000 from a Staten Island post office. The men, disguised in hoods and sunglasses, grabbed the cash from a safe at the main post office just before midnight. Tim Fleischer is live there with the latest. Tim?
And Edie, just moments ago, postal officials confirmed to us there was no guard on duty at the time of that robbery. As a result, there is an uneasiness among postal workers here at Staten Island's main post office after they have become the latest target of armed thieves. Just before midnight, police believe those armed thieves forced their way into the back of this facility.
They knew who to ask for, what time to come in. I mean, they walked right in.
And for all Ed Heavey knows, they could have come in any time last night, he believes. But while he never saw the 4 masked bandits here inside Staten Island's main post office, where the money is kept, it scares him to think he could have run across the armed thieves.
Yeah, well, if I wasn't there talking to somebody else on the way over, I would have walked right into them on the way out the door, and I might be dead.
The thieves escaped through this door into a waiting car, which police say they ditched several blocks away. It's believed they got away with between $300,000 and $500,000. Last night's heist was the second major robbery to strike the Postal Service in just 3 weeks. On January 21st, postal worker Guillermo Gonzalez was shot and killed after his truck loaded with money was hijacked by 2 men in the Bronx and later found in Fort Lee, New Jersey. And with this latest robbery, union officials again expressed their concern.
Again, we've tried and we've been stonewalled. To a point, we've been stonewalled. We really haven't been told nothing about changes in security.
If the changes have occurred.
Yes, if in fact they have occurred. Up until now, no.
Postal workers have told us they are extremely concerned by this.
Well, they are concerned, and so are we, and we're trying to put those type of guidelines, the people, the security in place, whether it be electronic or human resources.
Little consolation to other postal employees who are wondering why they have become the latest robbery target.
I guess they think we got money, we got checks, carrying credit cards, a lot of credit card scams. I guess that's why they're targeting them.
And at this point, postal officials say their main point of their investigation is trying to determine if this was an inside job. Also, they announced that they are offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and the conviction of the 4 thieves. And we're live in Staten Island. Tim Fleischer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And it's a different crime drawing attention in Crown Heights this noon. The man who claims he was beaten by a group of Lubavitcher Jews last December allegedly has been caught in the act of a burglary. Police say Ralph Nimmons was found in the basement of an apartment building in Crown Heights last night. They are charging him with burglary and stolen property charges. Last December, Nimmons claims he was going through the trash looking for clothing when he was beaten by the Lubavitchers. And the trial of 4 Glen Ridge High School students moves into the closing argument stage today. Defense attorneys are expected to argue that the prosecution did not meet its burden of proof in the case of the alleged sexual assault of a 17-year-old mentally handicapped woman. The prosecution has described the alleged attack as an obscene science experiment. Closing arguments are expected to last at least a week. An attack against some Manhattan stores. An anti-fur group used spray paint to vandalize 4 stores. Early this morning, the group, calling itself the Paint Panthers, sprayed blood money and murderers on the storefronts of 3 shops on 57th Street and 1 on 5th Avenue. In a statement, the protesters, who not only spray paint fur shops but also people wearing fur, say they are opposed to violence. Protests and politics over the fate of Schools Chancellor Joseph Fernandez. A closed-door session this morning between Fernandez and the Board of Education could determine his future. Celeste Ford has the latest now live in Brooklyn. Celeste?
Edie, this morning the school's chancellor, Joseph Fernandez, met with his bosses, the 7 members of the Board of Education. On Friday, the board spent 2.5 hours critiquing Fernandez. Today, he spent 45 minutes responding. Perhaps Fernandez can convince the board to renew his contract, but insiders say it's doubtful.
I move that we go into executive session.
Shortly after 9, the evaluation process resumed. This may have been the chancellor's last opportunity to make his case before the full Board of Education. Beforehand, at least one staunch opponent said it will do no good.
What do you object to most about the chancellor?
inability to conciliate, inability to find compromise, inability to deal with the issues that are of paramount importance in life.
The treaty said he is not a puppet, and he will not be swayed by the man who appointed him, Staten Island Borough President Guy Molinari. On Friday, Molinari made a surprise announcement coming out in support of Fernandez. This morning, board member Luis Reyes said the evaluation process is tainted with politics.
It's always been a struggle of the religious right and the conservative movement to try to control the school board. Hopefully, the decision to hire the chancellor will be made on educational grounds.
In particular, 4 conservative members of the board have fought the chancellor's AIDS curriculum and Rainbow curriculum, which teaches tolerance for gays. The board president and 2 other members stand with Fernandez. As part of a last-ditch lobbying effort, a group of political and civic leaders gathered at 110 Livingston Street this morning. They say city schools cannot afford to lose Fernandez.
What kind of message do we send if we invite someone to New York to be an innovative leader and then allow a majority of 4 out of 7 people to beat up on him and send him packing?
Board of Education sources say there has been no movement, and if the vote were taken right now, it would be 4-3 against Fernandez. But the final formal public vote is not until Wednesday morning, so the board members have some time to think this over. If they do vote Fernandez out, he will be gone once his contract expires at the end of June. And we're live in downtown Brooklyn. I'm Celeste Ford, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Celeste. New Jersey will begin its budget struggle later this week, but here's a preview of what Governor Florio is asking for. The governor wants $15.6 billion in the 1994 budget. That means an $800 million spending increase. The plan, though, also calls for cutting 4,700 state jobs. Florio will deliver the budget to the state legislature tomorrow. Economic policy was supposed to be topic A of the Clinton administration, but so far it's been lost in the flap over the Attorney General. 2 choices for the post have been embroiled in controversy over taxes and the hiring of illegal aliens. And now, with federal Judge Kimba Wood out of the running, the illegal alien question will become an ongoing issue in the search for a new Attorney General. President Clinton today did not mention the Attorney General problem during a policy speech, though all of Washington is abuzz about the situation. The White House is trying to defuse the situation by releasing a letter from Judge Wood to the New York Times in which she explains there is no significant dispute with the administration, though Wood also maintains, "I did not mislead anyone when she said she had broken no law in the manner former nominee Zoe Baird had. Wood employed an illegal alien at a time when it was legal to do so, and she paid her taxes." The same could not be said for Commerce Secretary Ron Brown, who admitted to not knowing about the law requiring a payment of Social Security and Medicare taxes on workers who make more than $50 in a 3-month period.
One person who came into the house on an irregular basis over the past 4 or 5 years for 3 hours a week.
The White House tried to backpedal, saying not everyone can be penalized, and that the problem with Kimba Wood is that she was not forthcoming at the time of her interview.
You have to consider the political implications. There's no question about that. But let me remind you, Charlie, she was asked this question on several occasions during the process, and she answered in a very narrow way, "No, I don't have a problem," but didn't come forward with the details which would have allowed the White House counsel and others to make a considered decision.
And the latest pick for Attorney General is expected in a day or 2. And in the meantime, the Clinton administration will be announcing layoffs of the White House staff to show that no one will be excluded from the major budget-cutting proposal the president will unveil later on this month. When we continue with Eyewitness News, an air disaster. More than 100 dead after 2 planes collide. We will have the very latest. Plus, remembering Arthur Ashe, close friends speak about the tennis great who inspired so many. Also, it is painful to hear your child coughing in the night. How can you tell, though, if a cough is a serious problem? We'll make your house call a doctor with Bob Lanier, and that's next on Eyewitness News.
If you're looking for rates as low as this and quick approval on a home equity credit line account, listen to Bud Bash.
When you need a second mortgage, there's only one phrase you need to hear.
Mr. Anderson, your loan was approved.
Call the Personal Mortgage Corporation at 1-800-DIAL-PMC. No weeks of waiting, no application fees. You'll get an answer in 24 hours. And don't worry if others have turned you down. Call 1-800-DIAL-PMC, Personal Mortgage Corporation. When it comes to second mortgages, we approve.
Nutrisystem says congratulations to all of our clients who've kept their weight off since last Valentine's Day. And Nutrisystem is celebrating by inviting you to 14 days of free program services, cost of meals additional. It's free to get started on a thinner and happier you. We're making this free offer because nothing feels like feeling good about yourself. Call Nutrisystem at 1-800-321-THIN right now because the 14 days free Valentine's special ends February 14th.
Now, this can only happen. I'm walking on the streets of New York City.
From Minsky's to the Improv,
More people live on this block than live in markets.
they make us laugh
My dad is completely nuts.
like nowhere else in the world.
He did smoke grass in the 60s, but he never exhaled.
Joel Siegel shows you what's so funny about comedy New York style. Today on Eyewitness News at 5, right here on Channel 7.
Thank you very much. Joan London goes behind the scenes and transforms a bride-to-be and a working mom. Lisa Gibbons gives sexy new looks to some longtime staffers. Well, that's how she comes to work most of the time, and I know there's a great body under here. I'm even going to make over some of my staff members.
How long have you thought that I needed a makeover, Oprah?
TV staff makeovers. Plus, the truth about my wedding on the next Oprah. Today at 4, followed by Eyewitness News right here on Channel 7.
A deadly collision of a jetliner and a military plane in Iran. At least 132 people have been killed. That collision occurred just west of Tehran minutes after the Russian-leased airliner took off on a flight to Shiite Muslim holy city of Mashhad. All those on board the passenger plane, 119 Muslim pilgrims and a crew of 13 were killed. The nose of the military jet crashed into the airliner's tail. The military pilot and co-pilot are also reported dead. One crewman was seen parachuting from the plane. Relief flights to war-torn Sarajevo are resuming today. Flights were suspended since Saturday when anti-aircraft fire hit a German plane taking off from Zagreb. Flights are now being routed through Frankfurt and the Croatian city of Split. The UN Security Council is expected to discuss the war in Bosnia today.
General Motors is set to fight back against claims that some of its full-sized pickup trucks are unsafe and could lead to death. GM was ordered to pay the family of 17-year-old Shannon Mosley $105 million last week. An Atlanta jury found GM negligent after the boy died when his 1985 pickup truck exploded. According to published reports, GM plans to accuse several consumer groups and NBC of rigging tests to make it appear that the trucks are unsafe. There was a threat to safety at the Brigham Young University campus in Provo, Utah. Last night, a man threatened to set off a bomb in front of 15,000 people. It happened in an auditorium filled with delegates to a Mormon convention. The man rushed the dais to the side of the church council president, holding a suitcase and vowing to detonate explosives.
I thought he said, "This is a gun, this is a bomb." He told President Hunter to stop.
He said this was the detonator and here's the dynamite, and he ordered people off the stand.
I could hear crying around me. People were screaming, "Don't do it."
The crowd then calmed down and started singing hymns until several in the audience rushed the stage and overpowered the man, who was not armed, it turned out. The suitcase only contained books.
Prayers and mourning today as the world remembers tennis great Arthur Ashe, with President Clinton calling him an American hero. Ashe died Saturday from AIDS-related pneumonia. He revealed he had contracted AIDS through a blood transfusion. And though known for his tennis victories, he's remembered for his fight against AIDS as well.
He became very challenged and excited about fighting AIDS because he had tremendous admiration for Magic Johnson. They're very different personalities, but he thought Magic did a fabulous job for education and information. That was really what Arthur was all about, education and people learning and understanding what AIDS really was.
Ashe was 49 years old. Funeral services will be held Wednesday in his home state of Virginia. And word is just in that Dr. Jack Kevorkian has assisted in another suicide. Details are sketchy, but an attorney says the person died this morning in Southfield, Michigan. Kevorkian's lawyers have scheduled a news conference for 1 o'clock. Kevorkian assisted in 2 suicides just last week.
Medical news now. It's a problem every parent tries to decide how serious a child's cough is. Is it just the result of a cold, or could it be something more dangerous? Dr. Bob Lanier shows us what warning signs we should look for.
If this doesn't keep you up at night, nothing will. And when it doesn't go away in 4 or 5 days, you'll probably wind up in a doctor's office. Now, most coughs are the result of a viral infection, and some of those can drag on for weeks. But there are a few things you might want to look for to help your doctor. If your child is still draining colored mucus or has foul-smelling breath after a week, it's a good chance the sinuses could be involved. An x-ray may be in order, and antibiotics usually help. Now, allergy can be involved if the drainage is clear and the nose is itchy. Antihistamines usually help, and get the pet out of the bedroom. Finally, place your ear on your child's chest and help him breathe out forcefully. If you hear a musical whistling sound after the cough, you may be dealing with some minor asthma. You can help your doctor by taking notes. When your child coughs, if there's fever, the color of any drainage, and any funny sounds they may make. The rest is up to your doctor. I'm Dr. Bob Lanier.
Dr. Lanier says parents should exercise caution when using over-the-counter cough medicines, since many are weak narcotics which could mask a more serious problem.
When we continue with Eyewitness News, it's a pleasant day right now, but is it going to stay that way?
Well, Bill Evans is along with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast for you. Plus, they say it doesn't rain in Southern California, but tell that to the folks in Los Angeles. It's next on Eyewitness News.
This is Jeopardy! Exercise for the mind.
Counties for 100.
Answer. Pope, Pulaski, Peoria.
What is Illinois?
Television 500. There is the Daily Double. Time now for Double Jeopardy.
For 200, please. Miss Cleopatra.
You've just broken the tie.
World geography.
More specific?
This is Daniel. Plays and playwrights.
The other Daily Double.
For 800.
For 1,000.
Visit.
Correct. Final Jeopardy.
Seen any exciting television lately? Take the Jeopardy Challenge.
Watch Jeopardy tonight at 7, right here on Channel 7.
Only $25 down. $25 down, and the choice of memberships is yours. Only $25 down. Living Well Lady Fitness Centers. Imagine for only $25 down, you can choose any membership you want.
Here's what I don't get. How do you take teeny-weeny berries and make a flavor as big as mixed berry Boku? Could sorcery be involved? Are these berries thinking? Why can't we find a nice fruit salad to settle down with, and then zap, some wizard guy makes them Boku? How else do you go from here to here?
Boku fruit juice coolers from McCain. Flavored just slightly over the edge.
Hey, I was impressed when my uncle built a pot roast in a bottle, but this Boku thing, holy mackerel.
Earl, what is it?
A horrible nightmare!
Somebody call me?
We were all tiny and the cave kids were giant. They could make us move. And then a strange voice said...
Now every McDonald's Happy Meal comes with one of 6 Dynamotion-powered dinosaur toys like Earl. And everybody's favorite...
Let me guess.
Baby. You get one with each Happy Meal you buy your kids.
What you want is what you get.
Then I heard music.
At McDonald's today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Regis Philbin.
And I'm Kathy Lee Gifford.
It's our most popular show of the year.
And the most romantic.
A real, live Valentine wedding.
Only this year we're making dreams come true for not one, but 4 wonderful deserving
couples. Did you hear what we said? 4 couples will be married right here on our show.
And you're invited.
So don't miss Wedding Week on Live.
There won't be a dry eye in the house. Get the
Especially
Kleenex
yours.
out. Let's go. Where's the
crying already?
Tomorrow at 9.
Right here on Channel 7.
Large areas of Japan were rocked yesterday by an earthquake measuring 6.6 on the Richter scale. The quake caused landslides and sent houses and cars sliding, but overall damage is said to be light for a tremor of such intensity, and there are no deaths reported. While 16 people have been injured, none of those injuries is said to be life-threatening. Bill Evans here now with the weather, and we saw that video from Los Angeles.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot when it's an area like Los Angeles. The terrain is flat. They don't get a lot of rain. It doesn't take but a couple of inches of rain in a short period of time to create flash flooding. Let's look at that. You'll see that happened early this morning. Amateur video in the Los Angeles area where they've had 2 and 3 inches of rain falling within several hours. So it doesn't take long to get scenes like this. Roadways flooded with water, flash flooding, and this looks just like, you know, the FDR did back in the nor'easter back in December 11th here. Well, we don't have this problem. We have this problem. It's slush everywhere. Yuck. Ooey, oy. All you have to do is get it out of the way, and it'll be gone in a couple of hours. If we can just get it to the street, the sun is coming out, things are warming up, and that nasty, yucky slush will be gone. Well, 40 degrees right now, humidity 52%. The barometer has been falling just a little bit. The reason the temperature is rising so much because the winds have been out of the west and now they've kind of shifted to the northwest just a little bit. Haven't had any rain in the last 24 hours. This temperature will continue to rise probably into the mid-40s. Look at these satellite pictures. There is a low-pressure storm system that has been along the Carolina coast right here. That is moving out into the Atlantic. There's a cold front bringing these grayer lower clouds southward, but you can see the dry air. That's the evidence of the dry air breaking up the clouds, and as of last hour, we're really just seeing a lot of sunshine. We're right in the slot here between this storm system and this cold front that is pushing down to the south. So we'll see sunshine through the afternoon, but the colder air is coming our way and will arrive probably after the commute hours this evening. Here's what's going on around the rest of the country. A big cold air mass coming in from Canada right behind that cold front. Down south, very mild weather, very nice for this time of the year. But out west, this is the storm system. Look at the low spiraling into Southern California. That's the low that is creating all the rain and thunderstorms, snow from the Wasatch Mountains, the Sierra Nevada, the Siskiyous, the Olympia is getting snow. All of that will be pulling into the central portion of the Rockies and will create more problems for Arizona, New Mexico. Flash flood watches in effect for just about the entire state of Arizona. Out west, look at the radar. Scattered rain showers popping up on all the radars along the Pacific coast. Rainfall amounts still are going to be, before the totals are done in 48 hours, 4 to 5 inches of rain in a lot of areas out in the southwest and over California. And here's the rain with that low that's working its way out into the Atlantic. All right, this afternoon, here's the forecast map. Expect to see a cold front driving through this afternoon. Probably will be about 45 for the high. This high will shift our winds around to the northwest, so we'll see a cold night tonight. The afternoon will feel very nice. This temperature is about 8 degrees above normal for this time of the year. But notice, 25 at Albany, 20 at Caribou, Maine. That's the colder air that is sinking to the south. Tomorrow is going to be a much colder day in which we'll see 36 for the high. And with the winds shifting still out of the north, we're going to have a day in which it's going to feel pretty brisk pretty much all day long. Lots of sunshine from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast, and that wind, that system out west, that winter storm will continue producing snow and rain in the central Rockies. Here's our AccuWeather forecast for today. Sunny and milder, really a nice day, 45. I mean, a veritable heat wave. Clear and cold tonight with a low of 22. And then tomorrow it's going to be a bit on the chilly side, but it will be sunny with a high of about 36. The 5-day outlook, well, a storm system makes its way our way by Thursday and Friday, but it looks like it should be an all-rain event, except for maybe some wet snow overnight Thursday night when the temperatures get a little colder. We'll keep an eye on that system and tell you more about it, but enjoy this afternoon. It's nice.
Sure will. Thanks, Bill.
All right.
Just ahead on Eyewitness News, a dessert to spice up your Valentine's Day.
Well, you see it everywhere. It looks like pudding. It tastes great. Mr. Food calls it that cherry stuff, and I'll show you how to make it next.
TV, that's right, $4.95. So call 1-800-OK-CABLE now to order. Don't miss out on all the excitement. It's your last chance. Call 1-800-OK-CABLE today. Cable TV with the premium channel. Don't miss a beat.
Take the time to taste the Welch's. Take the time to roll it round. Savor all that Concord flavor. Let it trickle slowly down.
Welch's grape juice. We've spent 100 years getting ready for this moment. So don't rush it. It deserves to be savored.
Take the time to taste the Welch's.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartman, and you're going inside Full House. Welcome to the Tanner household. We do a lot of stuff that people really don't even know about. Right to the dirt. They're ready to start.
Quiet, please. In 5, 4.
I have arrived.
There's much more inside Steve Hartman's Full House today on Eyewitness News at 5, right here on Channel 7.
See the great stars of Big Apple Burlesque. Joe Siegel shows you what's so funny about comedy New York style. Today at 5 on Eyewitness News.
Now, you've seen this dessert 100 times. It's creamy smooth, served in a fancy cocktail glass, and delicious. It's always a treat. And now Mr. Food shows us how to make that cherry stuff.
When we think of Washington's birthday, we think of a cherry tree. When we think of Valentine's Day, we think of red and white. So cherries fit again, and easy. Well, that always fits. So if we need a fast celebration, here's how. We simply fold together a can of cherry pie filling, an 8-ounce container of whipped topping, a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. That's not evaporated milk now, that's sweetened condensed milk. An 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple, and a cup of chopped nuts. And that's it, done. Because from there, all we do is spoon it into dessert cups or dessert glasses or hoo-hoo fancy dessert glasses. Then we just put them in the fridge to chill. Is that easy enough? And yes, it'll work with any brands, even light brands, and any kind of nuts, walnuts, almonds, pecans, pistachios, whatever. It's like a mousse that's crunchy tart and smooth sweet at the same time. That says that it's a special day. And if you'd like the recipe, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked "That Cherry Stuff" to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station. And we'll get it back to you for making any occasion a holiday. Not only February, any month, any season. Because they're going to ask you to make that cherry stuff all year long. You know, the stuff that makes us say, ooh, it's so good.
Just give me the sweetened condensed milk and a spoon. I'll be happy.
I love that cherry stuff. I never knew what it was called either, but it's good.
And when you write, make sure you tell us you want the recipe for that cherry stuff.
Here are some of the stories coming up on Eyewitness News at 5. He has terrorized a Manhattan neighborhood, and now he could roam the streets once more. The latest on the wild man of 96th Street. Also in our exclusive report, we showed you Amy Fisher's jail cell, and you heard about the threats to her safety. Now a major development following that story. And from the golden age of burlesque to the team of Abbott and Costello, the comedians who made us laugh, New York style. Joel Siegel's special report. All this plus Michael Bolton in tune with the Harlem School. You'll see it right here on Eyewitness News at 5.
And that is the news for now. I'm Victoria Corderi.
And I'm Edie Tarbox. For Bill Evans and all of us here at Eyewitness News, have a good day.
And make sure you join us again for Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 11, and again tomorrow at noon. Bye.
Bye-bye.